You do not need a backyard, you do not need a greenhouse, you do not need a south-facing window or a sunny climate or any outdoor space at all. What you need is a pot, some soil, and a lamp. And I mean that literally. A full-spectrum LED bulb screwed into a regular desk lamp is genuinely enough to grow real food year-round inside your home. Most people do not know this is possible, because most people think of growing food as an outdoor activity that stops in winter. It does not have to be. Today we are going through 12 foods you can grow indoors continuously, what each one needs, what you can expect to harvest, and a few things along the way that are going to change how you think about the space you already have. Let's get into it. Before we get into the plants, let's spend a minute on the light question, because it comes up every single time, and most people massively overthink it. Plants need two things from light: the right spectrum and enough duration. The spectrum part sounds complicated, but it is not. Plants primarily use blue light, around 400 to 500 nanometers, for leafy vegetative growth, and red light, around 600 to 700 nanometers, for flowering and fruiting. A bulb labeled full spectrum covers both. That is the entire technical requirement. A full spectrum LED bulb costs between $8 and $15 at any hardware store or online. Screw it into a desk lamp, a clamp light, or a basic floor lamp you already own. Position it 6 to 12 inches above the top of your plant canopy, closer for seedlings, a little further as plants mature. Run it 14 to 16 hours a day. A mechanical outlet timer costs about $8 and automates this completely. You set it once and forget it. That is the entire setup for every herb and leafy green on this list. The only exception is cherry tomatoes, which need a higher output dedicated grow light. We will cover that when we get there. One thing that trips people up: as your plants grow taller, the lamp needs to move up with them. Too far away and the plant gets leggy, stretching toward the light. 6 to 12 inches, maintained consistently as the plant grows, is the range that works. Everything else, pots, potting mix, water, is straightforward. The light is the only part that needs a moment of attention, and now you have it. Number 1, leaf lettuce. Leaf lettuce is the gateway crop for indoor growing, and once you understand why, you will probably never buy a bag of salad greens again. Lettuce is a cut and come again crop. You cut outer leaves, and the plant keeps growing from the center. A single 8-inch container gives you continuous harvests for weeks. Stagger 3 or 4 containers planted 2 weeks apart and you have a rolling supply with no gaps. It actually prefers indirect or artificial light over direct sun and will bolt and go bitter in intense heat, which makes it one of the most naturally suited crops for growing under a lamp. Varieties like black-seeded Simpson, oak leaf, and buttercrunch all perform well indoors. First leaves in 3 to 4 weeks from planting. Nutritionally, leaf lettuce is rich in vitamins A and K, folate, and potassium. The darker the leaf, the higher the nutrient density. Romaine and red leaf varieties carry significantly more nutrition than iceberg. Number 2, basil is probably the most useful herb you can grow indoors. And it genuinely prefers artificial light to a windowsill in most climates because it hates cold drafts from winter windows. It wants 14 to 16 hours of full spectrum light per day and will get leggy and flavorless without it. Pinch the top leaves regularly to prevent flowering. The moment basil flowers, the leaves turn bitter. Pinching keeps it in a vegetative state and dramatically extends your harvest window. One 6-inch pot will give you enough fresh leaves to use in cooking multiple times a week. Start with seed or use a supermarket basil plant. Those $4 grocery store pots are actually 4 to 6 plants crammed together. Separate them, pot individually, and you have 6 plants for $4. Nutritionally, basil contains vitamin K, manganese, and essential oils, including linalool and eugenol, with documented anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. Fresh herb has significantly higher nutrient content than dried food. Number 3, green onions / scallions. Green onions might be the single most effortless food you can grow indoors, and the method requires no soil at all. Take the root end of any store-bought scallion, and the white part with roots attached, which you would normally throw away, and place it in a glass with about 1 inch of water. Within 2 to 3 days, the green tops start regrowing. Harvest the tops, leave the root end in the water, change it every few days. One bunch of store-bought scallions becomes a continuous supply that pays for itself within a week. For more robust production, plant the root ends in a small container of potting mix. Soil-grown plants produce thicker, more flavorful greens and keep going for months without any replanting needed. Nutritionally, scallions are high in vitamins K and C, folate, and quercetin, a flavonoid with strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties that appears consistently in cardiovascular health research. Number 4, spinach. Spinach struggles outdoors in summer heat and gets killed by winter frost. Indoors under a lamp with consistent temperatures, neither of those problems exist. which means you can grow it continuously in a way that is actually easier than growing it outside. It prefers cooler temperatures, around 60 to 65 degrees, the lower end of most home thermostats in winter. Container at least 6 inches deep, consistently moist soil, lamp running 12 to 14 hours a day. Cut and come again, same as lettuce. One container gives you continuous harvests for 6 to 8 weeks before it bolts. The solution is having a second container already germinating before the first one is done. Nutritionally, spinach delivers iron, calcium, magnesium, vitamins A, C, and K, folate, and lutein. One of the most nutrient-dense foods per calorie you can grow. Pair it with vitamin C, a squeeze of lemon, to dramatically improve iron absorption. That combination is not accidental in a lot of traditional recipes. Number 5. Radishes. Radishes are the fastest food crop you can grow. From seed to harvest in as little as 20 to 25 days, which means you can go from planting to eating in under a month and gives you almost no time to lose interest. Container at least 6 inches deep, seeds half an inch down and about 2 inches apart, consistently moist soil, 14 hours of light per day. The greens are edible too, mild and slightly peppery, straight into a salad. Succession planting is the move here. A new, small container every 2 weeks keeps a rolling harvest cycling through. Cherry Belle and French Breakfast are two varieties that perform reliably indoors. Nutritionally, radishes are high in vitamin C, folate, and potassium, and contain glucosinolates, the same compounds found in broccoli and cabbage. Studied for liver detoxification and cancer prevention. Number 6. Mint is the herb that every experienced gardener tells you to keep in a container outdoors because it will take over a bed within a season. Indoors, in a pot under a lamp, that same aggression is exactly the feature you want. One plant in a 6-inch pot running 14 hours of light will produce more mint than most households can use. The more you cut it, the harder it comes back. Keep it in its own container. It will crowd out anything else alongside it. Water consistently, and it forgives temperature swings and occasional missed waterings without complaint. The quality gap between fresh and dried. Mint is one of the most dramatic of any herb. The volatile oils, menthol, menthone, methyl acetate, degrade rapidly once dried. What is in a tea bag is a shadow of what a fresh leaf delivers. Did you know the ancient Greeks and Romans used mint to scent their bathwater in their banquet halls? The genus name, mentha, comes from the Greek myth of Minthe, a nymph transformed into the plant. Mint has been deliberately cultivated for at least 2,000 years, making it one of the oldest intentionally grown herbs in recorded history. It will grow enthusiastically in a pot on your desk. Number 7. Microgreens. Microgreens are not a specific plant. They are a stage of growth. Any seed grown to where it has sprouted and produced its first true leaves is a microgreen, and at that stage, you have one of the most nutritionally dense foods it is possible to eat. Research from the USDA and the University of Maryland found microgreens contain 4 to 40 times higher nutrient concentrations than the same plant at full maturity. Broccoli microgreens contain sulforaphane at levels 20 to 50 times higher than mature broccoli. Red cabbage microgreens contain 40 times more vitamin E than the full-grown plant. Fill a shallow tray with an inch of potting mix, scatter seeds densely, cover for 3 to 4 days to simulate darkness, then uncover under your lamp. Harvest with scissors at the soil line in 7 to 14 days. Seed to plate in under 2 weeks. The cost math is striking. A small punnet of microgreens at a health food store costs $4 to $8. The seeds to grow 10 times that amount cost roughly the same. Sunflower, pea shoots, broccoli, radish, and wheatgrass are excellent varieties to start with. Number 8. Chives. Chives are one of the most underrated herbs in the kitchen and one of the easiest crops to run continuously under a lamp. Plant a clump of seeds or divide an existing plant into a 6-inch container. Once established, chives grow like grass. Cut them to the base with scissors and they regrow within a week or two. The same clump, kept watered and lit, will produce for years from a single planting. There's almost no other food crop with that kind of longevity. The mild onion flavor works in virtually everything. Eggs, potatoes, soups, salads, compound butters. The flowers when the plant blooms are also edible with a slightly stronger onion flavor and are used in restaurant quality garnishing. Nutritionally, chives are high in vitamins K and C, folate, and choline, important for brain health and liver function. Like all alliums, they contain organosulfur compounds, linked to cardiovascular protection and antimicrobial activity. Number 9. Kale prefers cooler temperatures, which makes it excellent for indoor growing because most homes in winter sit at exactly the temperature kale enjoys. It needs a larger container than the leafy crops we have covered, at least 8 to 10 inches deep and wide. Full spectrum light for 14 hours a day, consistently moist soil. Baby leaves are ready in 3 to 4 weeks. The variety, dwarf blue curled, is particularly well suited indoors. It stays compact, produces densely, and is slower to bolt than most other varieties. Take out her leaves, leave the center growing. One plant in a good container keeps producing for months. Nutritionally, kale delivers vitamins K, A, and C at extraordinary levels. More calcium per serving than milk, and lutein and zeaxanthin for eye health. One cooking tip worth knowing: raw kale's tough texture softens completely if you massage the leaves with a small amount of olive oil and salt for 30 seconds before eating. It transforms both texture and flavor entirely. Sounds unnecessary until you do it once. Number 10. Cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes are the most ambitious crop on this list, and they are absolutely achievable indoors, but they need more than a desk lamp, and I want to be straight about that. For tomatoes, you need a dedicated LED grow light panel. Look for something rated 2,000 to 3,000 lumens minimum. 12 inches above the canopy, 16 hours a day. Good panels are available online for $30 to $60. Running cost on LED at that output is roughly $1 or $2 per month. Variety selection matters. Tiny Tim stays under 12 inches and is one of the most reliable indoor producers. Tumbling Tom trails and works well in a hanging container. Micro Tom is the smallest commercially available tomato in the world. The whole plant fits in a 4-inch pot and still produces real fruit. Hand pollinate once flowers open. The battery-powered toothbrush vibrated against the flower stem once a day dislodges pollen and does the job insects would do outdoors. Skip this step and you get flowers and no fruit. Did you know tomatoes were considered poisonous in much of Europe and North America for over 2 or centuries after they arrived from South America? The leaves are toxic, they belong to the nightshade family, and people assumed the fruit was too. It took until the early 1800s for tomatoes to gain widespread acceptance as food in the United States. The plant people refused to eat for 200 years is now the most commercially grown vegetable in the world. Number 11. Cilantro. Cilantro is central to Mexican, Indian, Thai, Vietnamese, and Middle Eastern cooking, and one of the most frustrating herbs to buy because it goes from fresh to wilted in 2 days and costs nearly the same as a full plant each time. Growing it indoors solves this completely. It prefers cooler temperatures, around 60 to 65 degrees, and bolts quickly in heat, which makes it difficult outdoors in summer and excellent in a temperature-controlled indoor environment. 12 to 14 hours of light, consistently moist, but not waterlogged soil. The key thing most people miss: cilantro has a short productive window before it flowers and sets seed. Succession plant. Start a new pot every 3 to 4 weeks. When it does bolt, the seeds it produces are coriander, a completely different spice. 1 container, 2 ingredients. Did you know there is a genuine genetic component to why some people experience cilantro as soapy? It is a variation in the OR6A2 gene, which makes certain people sensitive to the aldehyde compounds in the herb. About 15 to 20% of people carry it. If someone in your household insists cilantro tastes like soap, they are not being difficult. Their DNA is. Number 12. Sprouts. Sprouts need no soil, no lamp, no container beyond a mason jar, and no space beyond a corner of your kitchen counter. They are the most minimal food production possible, and the nutritional payoff is remarkable. 2 tablespoons of seeds in a wide-mouth mason jar, covered with mesh or cheesecloth. Soak overnight, drain in the morning, rinse and drain twice a day for 3 to 5 days. No light needed. Sprouts are actually better grown away from direct light. A 2 tablespoon investment grows into a full cup to cup and a half of sprouts in under a week. A pound of lentils costs under $2 and produces many cycles. The nutrition at sprout stage is significant. Sprouting activates enzymes, increases vitamin content, and improves the bioavailability of nutrients compared to the unsprouted seed. A 1997 Johns Hopkins study found broccoli sprouts contain 20 to 50 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli. That single study changed how researchers think about food as preventive medicine. Sprouts are the entry point. 0 cost of entry, almost 0 time investment, fresh food in 3 days. If you do nothing else from this list, do this one. What all 12 of these have in common is that the barrier to starting is genuinely low. A full spectrum LED bulb, a bag of potting mix, a few containers, and you have a functional indoor food garden that produces year-round regardless of season, climate, or how much outdoor space you have. Once you have even one thing producing, 1 jar of sprouts on your counter, 1 pot of scallions regrowing in a glass of water, 1 container of lettuce cutting for the second time, something shifts. It stops being an abstract idea and becomes something real. You grew that. It cost almost nothing. It is better than what you would have bought. The tools have never been cheaper, and the plants have been doing this for millions of years without any help from us. We are just pointing a lamp at them and getting out of the way. That's it for today. Hope you learned a lot. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.